Hey, I'm John Greaves III. I'm the founder of Garage Gym Life, and I have got a treat for you guys. All right, I'm not going to tell you what the treat is. First, I want you to hit that subscribe button for me, hit the like button for me. Trying to hit some goals this year, and I need your help to do it. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for me, and here's your hint. Let's get this thing muscle. My man Ari is here. How you
Hey,
doing, Ari? From
what
Garage Gym
up? What
Homie.
up? Hey, man,
Hey.
blessed to be here, man. Thank you for having me on. This is the first time we're ever talking, so I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to this, man. This is our first time meeting, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's like so we've done a little bit of back and forth. I started watching your stuff, and to be honest, I think the way I found your channel was I was doing some research about Body Solid because I was going to interview the head of their company, and I'm familiar with their company because I've used their stuff in the past. I own their stuff, but I was going through like reviews of products on YouTube, and you reviewed one of their products. And so I just saw it pop up. I said, Garage Gym Homie. I was like, I thought I knew like most of the people with Garage Gym in their name on YouTube just because of when I
Yeah.
started doing it. I was trying to pick a name that other people didn't have. And I just kind of keep an eye on it ever since then. And I was like, I don't know this dude. So let's start watching. And you've got a very eye-catching and engaging delivery. Like you create a rapport with people. I see how you are with people in the comments. So I was like, we gotta talk to this dude. So
I
I'm glad
love it.
that I'm glad,
Thank
yeah, we were able to make it happen.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah.
So
Right.
when people see you, are they like, I don't care if it's at the grocery store or I don't know, wherever at work, are they surprised that you have a shirt on?
Well, I've only had a few encounters where people like saw me and recognized me and from the channel who didn't know me. Like I was in an airport once and I was with my girl and we were traveling and someone was like, Garage Gym Homie, and they're like, I gotta take a picture with you and show my boys, like we watch all your videos. And like once I was at a public gym and someone recognized me, they're like, I watch all your supplement reviews. So no, I don't know what they expect, but
Yeah, that's funny.
I'm the one who's shocked when anybody recognizes.
Man.
It's like I guess I'm at the point now where if anybody looks up a supplement, pretty much I come up, because I've
Right,
have over 1,200 videos. I mean, I've just reviewed a lot of supplements.
right,
So,
right, right,
if anyone's researched chances are, my video will come up. So,
right.
it's pretty cool, man. It's a cool feeling, for recognized for being, something positive, that I'm not
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
embarrassed about or hiding my head, like my own life.
So given and you've been pretty open about your testimony, but
Sure.
have you ever had like a police officer or something like stop you and say, "You're Garage Gym Homie, aren't you? I watch your stuff."
I haven't had that, but I come from a life where I've done a lot of time, man. Like I've been to two state prisons in California. I've given, about 4 years of my life to jails and prisons. And now like I've without saying names or anything, like I've been honored to be able to sponsor a police officer in the
Oh
program.
wow, that's
And
awesome.
I pump iron with some cops. I've been invited to like Christmas dinner at some cops' houses, and it's very surreal, man. Like
Yeah,
I'm like, I can't believe, I'm just hanging out with these cops, like from this, like they have no idea where I've been, and I tell them it's not like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but they really have no clue, anyone who wasn't there. I mean, it's just like it's surreal, man. The other thing, I did have a cop who uh knew me from he arrested me when I was a kid, man. I must have been 18, 19 here. And I had to file a police report. Someone stole a work truck here and he came in and he said his name. I say, you arrested me when I was a kid, man. I remember. And I got to tell him that I was like going on at that time, like 9 years sober.
Right.
And he gave me a hug, man. He's like, I
Oh yeah.
never get to hear people like turn it
That's
around. And
what I was gonna say. Like they don't get to hear the good side, you
I
know.
was like tearing up, man, like how things come
That's
back
awesome.
around, man. And I get to,
That's awesome.
it was a cool story. Yeah.
So I want everybody who doesn't know you to get to know you. So God has broken the chains of drug addiction off of you, and you now sponsor a lot of recovering addicts and recovering alcoholics as they're going through their own recovery process. How does having you've got a great video on your channel about how you started the channel, but how does having your YouTube channel help you with that mission of trying to reach back and help other people break free of the chains like you did?
So for years, I used to speak at treatment centers and locally here all over. I gave open talks at probably a couple hundred AA meetings. I used to go every Saturday, at the first Saturday of every month, to a local rehab here. There'd be about 60, 70 inpatients. And man, it was a great gig. I'd give like an hour and 15-minute lecture about how I recovered from the disease, my journey through, the 12 steps, which is a spiritual program. And it was like such an easy way for me to meet people to sponsor. So when COVID hit and they wouldn't let outside speakers in or whatever, I started the channel. I started a garage gym. I was like, man, I could make a little like YouTube.
Connect them. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, first I was like, I could do an Instagram, make an Instagram. Yeah. Me and my brother, Garage Gym Bros, we were going to be. And he wasn't really into it, like I was. So I just branched out. I was like, okay, Garage Gym Homie. I was like, it'll just be a one-stop shop. I could talk about all the things in my life that are interesting, recovery from addiction, bodybuilding, supplements, pre-workout reviews, all that kind of stuff, and see where it takes me. I was like, I'm really gonna, as an addict, I pick up a lot of stuff and I don't follow through. I'm like, I'm gonna learn to play guitar, and I bought a guitar, never touched it,
Gotcha.
This is one thing I actually followed through with, and like saw through and watch build. So it holds a place in my heart. And your question is, how does it help on the mission? Because I always talk about, in most of my videos, I make a point of announcing at the beginning that people can hit me up privately in the email, garagegymhomie@gmail.com. And then I'm always here. My purpose is to give my time for free to any addict or alcoholic who's struggling. And man, you never realize how many addicts and alcoholics are out there, man, having a tough time. And they hit me up privately. And I've been super blessed. God keeps bringing people in my life that I could sponsor and guide through the steps, and all across the country, man. So it just continues to open up the door for conversation in the videos, and then people know that they can come to me. And we could talk privately, and I could just kind of be the person who guides them through the 12-step process.
That kind of helps answer a little bit my next question, because I would say you're the only home gym content creator that I would say 90% of their stuff has to do with supplementation. Most home gym content creators focus on doing equipment reviews, even if they want to do other things. Like I enjoy doing other things. I like doing stuff like this. I like to help people share their stories, because I think that if somebody trains at home and they're succeeding at it, then that story can inspire the next person who might be struggling. Just go downstairs one more time, just keep on going, So how did you decide to say, you know what, I'm going to focus more on things that relate to like supplements?
Well, it's interesting because it never really even occurred to me to do equipment, because I'm not really I don't really think about equipment. And you're right. A lot of the home gym guys, I feel like they're constantly looking into home gym equipment and changing it up and looking at this new bar and this new rack and this new bench. And I'm satisfied with what I have. So I can't really do equipment reviews because I'm not really interested in buying more equipment,
Right.
If I do something down the road, I'm like, all right, I'm ready to trade this in, I'll do it. So I just decided, like, all right, I'll review the few things I have, but that's really where my content runs out on that. So I really got into it because I used to watch a supplement reviewer, Fitness Deal News, and he's got a big channel. I think he just, big to me, he's got like 40,000 subscribers,
It's big to me too.
Right. But I say that because like some of these fitness guys have like 1 million. And I'm like, man, I should be doing that.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck? But yeah, so yeah, I used to watch him and I used to think like I love pre-workouts and stuff. They're fun to use and play with. And I'm like, man, I could do that. I could do those reviews. So that's how I really started. That's what was more interesting to me than garage gym equipment. Yeah.
And I mean, with your physique being as developed as it is, it's believable. Like, your passion for it comes through. But if you were like out of shape, but you're talking about how great pre-workouts and protein bars were, people be looking at you like, you'd have the companies calling you like, hey, please don't advertise our stuff anymore. All right. But because
Well,
you're in shape, people look at you and like, oh, okay.
I very much appreciate the compliment. The other thing is a lot of the supplement reviewers, I'm not saying all of them don't even look like they work out. It's
Right.
like, so I think it gave me some credibility that I
Yeah.
like really put my heart and soul into the eating and the training and the lifestyle of bodybuilding.
Right.
Like I genuinely love it. I like
Yeah.
restriction and I train like all year as if I'm competing basically. I'm an addict, so I'm like all in.
Sure, sure. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's basically you're redirecting. So I heard I've heard this multiple times in sermons where it said basically a sin is actually a legitimate desire done fulfilled in an illegitimate way.
I like
And
that. Never
and
heard. Uh-huh.
so looking at the looking at how you are built and the fact that you're so motivated and driven to it, it's like you took that same drive that took you towards drugs and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to put that same passion into building up my body instead of tearing it down. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it does make sense. It's amazing how much energy I spent like onto doing things on the wrong side of the
Yeah.
line when I could have been putting it towards positive stuff. How much energy I put into not working, when I how
Oh
much
yeah.
yeah, it was like a full-time job plus 10 times more to not work and beat the system and do dirt and all that. And when I
Yeah.
could have, on the right side of things. I just see bodybuilding and spirituality go hand in hand for me. It's a life of practicing restriction and not indulging in every little thing I see, whether it's
Right.
food or sex, this, that, which brings me closer to God, to practice restriction and be conscious of what I consume and what comes out of my mouth and what I put in my mouth and in my
Right.
ears. And,
It's based
so it,
self-control.
absolutely,
Right. I got
it's
you.
just, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
People think, you get on YouTube, and especially when you start to grow, that you're making a ton of money. And really, that's at least not for me.
Right.
If it's happening for anybody at my current level, please tell me your secrets, teach me your ways.
Yeah.
But we're not making a ton of money off of this. So there are times when it's a matter of chasing a dream that only you really can see. And so when people tell me that I've helped them, that's again that little bit of fuel for the fire, to help me say, hey, just do it one more time.
Yeah.
Go do it one more day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I just think that our job as content creators is so we make content that brings value in some way. Somebody should walk away from that video feeling like this brought some value to me, whether I
Yeah,
learned about the supplement or now I know whether I should buy it or not, or whether I feel
100%. Yeah,
like I'm fired up to connect to God, or whether I want to whatever it is, some value to their
right.
life. Because they're not going to want to click it and watch it if it's not bringing some value to them. So definitely, I relate to what you're saying. It's the coolest feeling, when
Yeah,
people are like, "Hey, man, you have no idea. Like, I'm praying to God now because of your video." I'm like, "That's the biggest
that's awesome.
compliment you could give me. Like, that's insane. Like for me."
So let's go ahead and let's give something back right now. You are the supplement expert in this conversation. So what are the top supplements you would recommend? And I'm going to break it down into groups because I am older now, but I've been young. So my needs as a new lifter in my 20s were different from my needs when I was in my 30s and 40s to my needs now that I'm in my 50s. So what are the top supplements you would recommend for a new lifter in his 20s?
Okay, so it's an interesting question, and uh, I knew you were going to ask this. The the funniest part of this is I hold very little stock in supplements. Like
Right.
I really genuinely only review a certain kind because a lot of the supplement industry I think is a huge scam. I
Right.
I mean, the natural muscle builders and the testosterone boosters, and I hold very little stock that they do a dang thing, you
Right.
know. So the supplements that I would tell people to get, let's just say the early some creatine, some unflavored creatine monohydrate, very basic.
German creatine.
It's pretty much any of it's fine. I think
Okay.
they're all very similar. I'm a big believer in taking like vitamin C, D, zinc, and like a B complex. So you get
Okay.
good doses of your basic vitamins. A protein powder is always good. So you have some excess supplement to supplementation for some protein, even though I'm a big believer in getting the majority of your food from real food, majority
Right.
of your, and if you want a non-stim pump formula or pre-workout, or a pre-workout is fine, or a fat burner, that's fine too for some energy and maybe some EAAs.
Gotcha. Okay.
Anything else, man, is kind of just, I don't know if it does anything. I don't have any proof because I only review things that you either feel or you don't. Pre-workouts,
Right.
I could take a pre-workout and tell you the experience. Does it give me
Right.
energy? Does it elevate my mood? Does it give me focus? Is there a thermogenic effect? I could
Sure.
tell you the effects of it. I could tell you the effects of a fat burner. This gave me crazy energy. This made me fly through cardio. This made me do. I could tell you the effects of a sleep supplement. This
Hmm.
kind of helped me get rested through the night. I woke up refreshed, or maybe I woke up groggy. I could tell you the effect. Anything else, man, we could debate if it does a dang thing. I can't
Right.
even confidently come on here and tell you creatine does any. I know what the science says,
Right.
but I can't say pulling creatine, I've noticed any difference if I pull it out. I
Right.
can't genuinely say so. I just hold very little stock in most of the supplement industry, if that makes sense. What do you
No, it
think?
does. Well, so like the reason why I broke it down into age groups is because so let me let me throw an addendum on there. The reason why I said mid-20s is because up until basically up until you're out of college, my recommendation for supplementation is eat. And I know you ain't drinking enough water, so drink water. Because when you're in high school, you don't
Right,
drink water. You drink Kool-Aid, and you
right.
eat. And I say eat because you probably eat Jolly Ranchers. So
Uh-huh.
eat and drink plenty of water and go to bed. All right.
Yep,
But then
100%.
yeah, but then when you get to your mid-20s, you're out of college, your real life has hit you, or you're definitely out of high school, real life has hit you. So now your schedule's a little bit rougher. You're starting to try to, maybe you're going out and everything, trying to find Miss Right. And it's one of those things where your body is kind of starting to you're trying to ask it to do the same things that it was doing back when you lived with mom and dad and you didn't have any responsibilities. Now you're saying, hey, I want you to do all this other stuff and we're still going to lift weights too, right? So that's when I say, okay, well, now supplementation can come in. And to that mid-20s person, that's when I would say, okay, yeah, you definitely need to have some creatine and you need to definitely take some sort of sleep supplement, not necessarily to make you go to sleep, but to improve your sleep quality because you're trying to climb the ladder at work. So I know you're probably going to be working long hours. You're going to be working extra shifts like that. Then when you hit your mid 30s and 40s, you got kids.
Yeah,
And those jokers don't care about your sleep at all. Right? They don't
yeah,
care at all about your sleep. They don't
right.
care at all about your workout schedule. They
Uh,
don't care about your food. They
yeah,
care about attention and the fact that they need food and they
yeah,
need to get to their game and you got to take them and all that. So
yeah.
that's when I'm like,
As
okay,
they should, as they
oh
should.
yeah, that's the beauty of being a kid. Enjoy that.
Yeah,
So then I'm like, okay, well, now is when you need to be smarter with your training. So maybe your training cranks up in intensity because you can't train for as long. Well, now
right,
your body's going to start getting banged up. So maybe now you need some glucosamine or something to help with the joint aches or whatever, right?
right.
Or just whatever. And again, you still need something for sleep quality. And then when you get to my age, I'm more into stuff for like recovery from training because, like I said, I'm in my 50s. So
Yeah.
what I do to myself now, my body can't recover from it as easily as it did when I was a kid. So
Right.
I still go with the multivitamin for everybody, but now it's like, okay, well, maybe now I need to, I'm mega dosing the vitamin C, or whatever, just
Right.
because
Right.
it's like, and the pre-workout, hey, yeah, because I still work. So
Yeah.
I'm older. So yeah, I need energy and I still need the thing to improve my sleep quality. That's what I'm talking about.
I
Um,
think good. Yeah. There's
when I
definitely,
retire, I probably won't need pre-workout as much because, I could just go back to sleep. I don't have to
yeah.
be up and go to work. I don't have, just go back to sleep.
Yeah. And at the same time, um, I preach on my channel about practicing restriction from pre-workout because
That's
I
one of my
find,
favorite videos of yours. When you talk about cycling off and how to
yeah,
stay on pre-workout the year round. In fact, I'm
I
gonna
think,
link that. I'm gonna link that right now. That's one of my favorite videos. You
thank
guys need to
you.
watch that. I'm
I
sorry, I
think
cut
it's
you off. Go ahead.
important. No, 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 that's good. I think it's important because it's an easy way to burn out your adrenals and get in the way of your recovery. And building muscle, you could spend hours in the gym, but if your recovery is not right, if your sleep schedule, and just even when I review a sleep supplement, I tell people, hey man, you could take the sleep supplement, but I would suggest relying on a good sleep routine. Make sure you're
Right.
going to sleep if you can at the same time every night. The body likes
Right.
to be on the clock.
Yeah, it's
Don't
like,
go to bed. Don't go to bed with loose ends not tied up. Have your spirituality in order. Pray, meditate. If you owe people an apology, don't go to bed angry or in fear. Like that stuff destroys your sleep. That's
oh yeah.
crazy. You
Yeah, it'll
can
make
get
you
eight
restless.
hours. You can get 8 hours of sleep and feel like you got five if your head's crazy. It's like
Oh yeah.
so. Yeah. So the point is, always rely on the basics and then you can
Mhm.
throw in supplementation. But if your ducks aren't, if you're not eating right, if you're not training properly, if you're not sleeping right, all those dang supplements in the world is not going to do much if you don't have the basics down. The most anabolic thing you could do, just like you said, is the food you eat.
Yeah.
The food. Even the drugged out bodybuilders are eating right. They're
Yeah.
relying on eating a ton of calories, whatever it is, because they know even all those dang drugs they're on, the eating's crucial.
And I will also say this one thing too is one thing that makes me such a big fan of the sleep supplements, like I have one that I use, is because for the last 10 years I've worked a night job a couple of days a week. And so it's 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., right? And so when I come home, we're designed to be a lot awake in the daytime. But I got to reverse that. And it's only 3 days a week, but it's still, I got to do it right. So my thing is, I got to get home and I have to go to bed, right? Now, here's the thing: I still get 7, 8 hours of sleep, but it's daytime sleep. So I have to like the sleep hygiene thing. So I got to have the blackout curtains. I got to
Yeah,
have the headphones. I got the big headphones if somebody's outside doing construction or cutting grass or something. I got the big headphones to block out the noise.
right.
So that's when I started saying, hey, look, the sleep supplement, actually, I have noticed a big difference because I can feel the difference in how I feel when I wake up if I take it versus when I don't take it. And then if it's a day when I'm not working, then I just go to sleep. I don't
So
worry
do you
about it.
take it nightly or just those 3 days?
I could take it all the time, but I tend to just take it on the days when I'm working because it improves the quality. It doesn't necessarily help you stay asleep. It just improves your sleep quality. It doesn't have melatonin in it, so it doesn't
No
attenuate.
melatonin.
Right, so
No.
it doesn't attenuate. But I don't want my body to get used to it. So I go 3 days and then it's cold turkey and I just go to sleep.
I have to have if I'm taking something with melatonin, it's got to be very low dose, or I feel it, and it lags with
Make
me.
you groggy? Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sensitive, and ashwagandha. It's like a blanket over me the next day, and I can't
I
shake
see.
it.
So
Yeah.
this thing has ashwagandha in it. So that's why I'm like, all right. I mean, I don't feel groggy when I wake up,
Some people love
but
it.
I've got like a whole, and then I've got a whole morning routine too.
Yeah.
Morning routine. So I wake up and I'll drink immediately. I drink some pre-workout, and then that gives it time for it to get into my system. While I'm waiting, I drink some water because water makes you feel better instantly. Then I get up, I shave my face because the heat on my face helps to raise my body temperature, wake me up. This is all like just to get me to the point where I can go lift, right? And I'm moving around, brushing, I brush my teeth and everything else. And so I just went through my routine. So when I get downstairs to lift, I'm awake.
So
Yeah,
from the moment you drink your pre-workout, how long till you're on the dance floor lifting? 30 minutes?
yeah, 30, maybe 45 minutes.
See, I can't. I'm that. By then, the pre-workout's already peaking for me.
Oh,
I
I don't
gotta.
feel it.
Yeah,
I don't, I
yeah,
feel the tingle because of the beta alanine,
yeah,
but like it starts to hit me
yeah.
around the time that I get on the treadmill to start warming
Really?
up.
Yeah. See,
And
I take the pre and start training immediately.
so how does it, just because of how long digestion takes, how does it even get in your system that fast?
Well, first of all, if I wake up and I'm on an completely empty stomach, and I slam a pre-workout, it's gonna hit pretty quick for me because I'm
Okay.
completely empty in me. It doesn't have to go through food or anything. I just,
Okay. Okay.
haven't eaten in 14 hours or whatever. So
So
my
you don't eat
body,
before bed?
I eat like let's say I eat at 6:30 at night. It's my last meal or whatever.
Ah, okay. I got you.
I'm not taking the pre till 6:30 in the morning, so that's
Okay.
12 hours I'm
Yeah,
fasting.
I got you. I got you. That makes sense.
So it absorbs quickly. Plus, I kind of like feeling it build up while I'm training, because then I go to work after, and even if it
I
is
got you.
peaking after, I got that long lasting energy for
You at
work.
work typing like this.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm like a maniac,
Man,
after I
Ari's
got
our
the
best worker, man. God,
yeah.
we need 10 more like him.
I'm kind of a morning dude though. Like I'm fired up
Okay,
in the
yeah.
morning anyway. I love it.
All right. So now let's do some questions that'll help other people who might want to jump into YouTube.
Uh huh.
People think we're getting paid big money to review products, but it's honestly it's a grind. So without going into specific dollar amounts, and I know that this wasn't your goal, but how hard has it been for you to generate any sort of income from doing this?
So I don't get paid $1 to review a product. I
Okay.
mean, at all. No company has ever given me money to review a supplement ever.
Okay.
Uh, all my reviews are 100% unbiased and legit. I mean, the money that comes to me is from people who are kind enough to use my discount code to buy the
Right.
supplement. That's where the money for me comes from, if there's any money. And when people are kind enough to think of me to do that, it's just icing on the cake. If they
Nice.
didn't do that, if I didn't make a penny, I would do this just as hard. I mean, I would do this I love it. I genuinely love making the videos, and I review a product, and then I link below, hey man, you can get this down below. I'll link in the YouTube description box with the discount code to knock some money off or whatever. Then I get, a percentage of each sale.
But don't
So
you get
that's
watch
what
time revenue?
I get. Oh yeah, from YouTube.
Yeah, I mean that's
Right.
still that's what I'm saying. Like even to get to
Right.
that point,
Right. But I thought you meant, do supplement companies pay me to
nah,
review their product? No,
nah.
I've never made $1 that way. And I get offers in the email, we'll pay
Yeah,
you for sponsorship, whatever promotion. I don't want to do. I'm not going to get paid to give a good review. It's just,
got you. Right.
because I'm not going to have my viewers buy something I say is good and then they take it and it's junk.
Yeah, I got you.
I keep a good reputation. But yeah, so YouTube pays me, and from what I know, like fitness people get like the lowest paid ads in the game,
Oh
and
yeah.
I don't think, yeah, like people who do like crypto and all sorts, they're banking off the YouTube
Oh yeah,
ad.
they're living off of it. Or like
Oh,
if they're doing like makeup, oh yeah, you can
makeup, that's
retire
a big
early.
one.
Yeah,
Is it? Wow. Yeah. So the money comes in every month, and don't get me wrong, it's nice to have. I mean,
yeah,
it's a few $100 or whatever, and it
yeah.
goes to my bank account. It's all extras. And once it started generating a little bit with the discount codes, it kind of picked up, and it's nice. I got like, now I really am only accepting supplements from like if these 3 websites carry it, I'll accept. Other than that, I'm trying not to mess with it because every supplement company hits me up and they want me to review their new. I just started a supplement company. Will you review my pre-workout? It's like, it's just too much, and I
Yeah.
never get to use the supplements I like because I'm just feel overwhelmed. I got my personal stash that just sits there staring at me. I never get to use it.
Right. Right.
So yeah, the money. I don't know, man. It's just extras, and it's just a nice little icing on the cake, to be able to have a little bit of side money come in. And I'm just grateful, man, for anyone who thinks of me to use the code or watch the content or give it a like. I just appreciate the love, man. The channel can't grow fast enough, it just
Oh yeah,
can't grow,
I understand.
can't grow
I mean,
fast.
the bigger you grow, and I tell people this all the time. It's like the bigger I grow, the more people I can help. And I also
100%.
say, like, look, if I get to the point where, like, I still consider myself an amateur when it comes to this because I do it part time. You can't be a professional if you do something part time.
And me
And
too. Yeah.
yeah, that's not possible because, I mean, like, there's hours of stuff that go into this that I can't do because I'm putting, I have to give my employer value for their money. So the bigger I grow, I get to the point where I'm full time. Now I can do it full time. Well, now I'm a professional. And so now I have the time to do all of that. So now you can get a better product, is basically what I'm saying. And ultimately, the person who's watching this benefits in some ways even more than me if I have more time to do a better job on my channel and on the stuff that I put out. So when I tell people, hey, I need you to like and subscribe, I'm
Absolutely. Yeah.
serious. I'm like, I want you to like and subscribe because
Yep.
the more I grow, the more I'm able to help you guys. So go ahead, like and subscribe.
Yeah, absolute. No, it's 100% true. And you know what? The thing is, I have a zillion ideas, man, that I'd like to do with the channel and make it grow. It's like there's not enough time in the world to do all the things, that I want to do. There's so many things I could do, and it's just too. And then at the same time, to even do it full time doesn't seem smart because YouTube can shut me down at any minute, man. If I'm relying on YouTube
Oh
as,
yeah, yeah,
it's like they could cancel my channel in half a second if they want.
sure.
So yeah,
There was a YouTube content creator. I think her name is Vanessa Lau. She said is don't build a house on rented land. And she's like, you don't want to build your brand on a social media platform that somebody else owns. It's fine to have it there, but you need to have something else that you own so they can't take it from you, just like what you just said. You got to have your website. You got to have the other thing because
website.
then you can
Yeah,
keep it, it's not going to go away. And if YouTube went away, you say, okay, well, I'll pivot to somewhere else. So
very
that's,
smart and very good advice. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Because you've seen people with millions of subscribers just get taken away, and they
Gone.
don't owe you any explanation or
Nope.
anything.
And
Yeah,
I mean, Instagram's even worse. At least you can reach out to YouTube and they'll answer you. Instagram, they won't do anything. And I'm assuming TikTok is like that too. So they won't even
yeah.
answer you. Um, do you make, well, you said you make it's the affiliate links, but do you get more revenue from YouTube or Instagram?
I've never made $1 off Instagram.
Yeah.
YouTube's my thing. I mean, the
Okay.
only money I could say I've made off Instagram is maybe people finding the YouTube channel from it and
Yeah.
going there. But no, I've never had any. I put all my stock in my YouTube content.
Okay.
That's my
It's
main
the same
thing.
for me.
Yeah,
It's the same
anything
for me.
I
I
do.
struggled for a long time to try to get Instagram to do something to justify the time I was on there. And I was just like, you know what? I just have to, I did the whole link in bio, link in my
Yeah.
bio, all that, and whatever, man. So
My Instagram
YouTube it
game is
is.
super weak, and I can never figured out how to make the reels go viral or this or that, or I've just never figured it out, and I haven't put much time into it. So
Yeah.
YouTube's the best. YouTube's a search engine, so it's the
Yeah.
best. it's the best for discovery, man. Like for
Yeah.
someone who's not already famous, like me, who wanted to start up and nobody knows me, YouTube was just an easy choice because you can be searched for the stuff you're putting out.
And I would honestly, this is probably going to go against the advice of some people here, but having been on Instagram and on YouTube, I would recommend, and having a website, I'd recommend to people pick one and stick with it. I think YouTube is the best place, and I'm not getting paid by YouTube to tell you that. YouTube is the best place to grow for the same reason you said. And I would stick with YouTube until you get to a point where you've got some traction, then do like what you did. Okay, now I got a website, you know,
Yeah.
and because you have to, you're going to grow. The grass grows where you water it, and you can't water a lot of lawns at once. So pick a lawn, water that one,
Absolutely.
nourish it, and let it, and once it grows and it's healthy and thriving, then you can say, all right, now I'm gonna buy some grass over there, right?
Dude,
that's just what I think.
everyone's on YouTube, and I mean, only a small percentage of my YouTube viewers are on Instagram. They're
Right.
not all on Instagram.
Right.
My 22,000 subscribers, I only
Yeah,
have
they don't cross over, not really. It's like,
no.
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go into as we close. I told you I had some rapid fire questions for you.
All right.
So you can give me a one-word answer,
Sure.
or you can expand on the answer if you want.
Yeah.
It's up to you. Okay. You better get ready now. You need to
I'm
stretch.
ready.
You want to stretch for a second? You want some
No,
pre-workout?
Let's get into it.
What's the weirdest product you've ever reviewed?
The weirdest product I've ever reviewed is the bidet that I got. I got when I first started the channel, I
Make a
bought
video.
huh?
How do you even make a bidet video?
I reviewed my bidet. I made a list like when I had very few products to review at my house. When I first started, I was like, what are the things that I have to review? I had my alkaline water machine, which I freaking love. I reviewed that. And I was like, I was thinking of any health product I have, like any health product. And I was like, this bidet is freaking awesome. And I did an in-depth bidet review. Yeah. That was the weirdest one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. And now, what's the most underrated product you've ever tried?
To me, it's the alkaline water machine.
Okay.
You know, and I just think that it's been life-changing, man. I'm a big believer in the benefits of alkaline water. And I tell people, even if at the end of the day, it was proven to me that alkaline water does absolutely nothing, having the machine gets me to drink a lot more water. So even if that's the only
What does it taste
benefit,
like?
dude, it's like feather light. It's like you could drink a big bottle of water, because I do it when I go on vacation and it feels heavy and it bloats me. You know, water is like, can be heavy. This is so feather light, man. And I love it. You know,
Is there an aftertaste?
no, there's no aftertaste. No. And it not only does it do the alkaline water, it goes through 4 filters before the alkaline water. So it's the purest water I can personally get.
Okay.
And once you have it, you know, there's that. And then I got my my sauna here. You could see,
yeah,
which is a recent purchase, which I love, man.
Okay.
Yeah, those 3 things were good investments for me. Yeah.
I will put a link to the sauna video. I think you got a sauna video. I'll put a link to that. All right. Well, we'll have that running over my head as well.
Okay.
All right. Name a supplement that you wish they would bring back, but that you know they probably won't.
I would say the original Jack 3D, because that's a pre-workout that I never got to try. And everybody raves about it. So I wanted to know what the big hype is. Is it really did you ever try it?
No, I was gonna ask you, have you ever tried Ultimate Orange? That was the first pre-workout I ever tried by Dan Duchesne, the late Dan Duchesne.
I have not. That's a high-tech pharma.
Man, I drank that stuff, man. I was so jittery. So I was going to a bench competition, just a bench only meet, and I drank some of this stuff. It was just one of these backyard meets, non-sanction. And I drank this stuff, and I think we lifted at like noon. 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm still tweaking. Right?
Oh yeah,
because that was my first time ever having pre-workout. And these other guys are like, "Oh man, yeah, you need to drink this. This will help you." And these guys, and at the time I had been fighting, so I was still only like 170 pounds because my weight class maxed out at 174, and so I
Uh-huh.
was like walking around 170, and I actually ended up making super middleweight, which was a weight class below. But anyway, my point is, so I was light. Well, these dudes were like 250, so they gave
Wow.
me the same dose that they had.
Yeah, yeah,
Man, my eyes got bigger, and I
yeah,
think my eyes like this all
yeah.
day.
Well, that was probably a GMAA pre-workout, and what
Oh yeah.
it probably had, the crazy stuff. And so, yeah, some of the I only got into pre-workouts really when I started the channel 3 years
Okay.
ago. So these are
Okay.
all new to me. I
Oh
used to
yeah.
just take my high stim was like a cup of black coffee. And
Yeah.
most of my training was all non-stim before, and if I wanted to get really crazy, I would drink some Starbucks or some coffee or something. But
Yeah.
all those crazy pre's they talk about were before my time. There's some
Yeah.
crazy ones out now. And so
Oh
I'm
yeah.
inclined to believe that they're just as good now as they were then. So I always wanted
Yeah.
to try that original Jack 3D everyone talks about.
Uh, shaker bottle, blender, or just stir it with a spoon.
Oh, I use a shaker bottle, man. I use a shaker
Even
bottle.
at the house.
Huh?
Even at the house.
I mean, the only time I use a blender once in a while, if I have some frozen fruit to throw in there, I
Okay.
have like a nice Ninja blender or whatever.
Okay.
But if I'm just doing protein powder or whatever, I'm just putting it in the shaker bottle, man.
All right, and that's y'all's cue to check out my review of my favorite shaker bottle, and that just went over my head too.
I want to see that one.
Oh, I'll make sure I will message it to you.
Yeah, yeah. I want to check
Um,
that.
this is the biggest one.
Okay.
This one's gonna affect your future. Okay,
Okay.
it's gonna affect how people think about you.
Okay.
All right, so this could just completely ruin everything you've tried to build.
Okay.
Detroit pizza, Brooklyn style or Chicago style?
Oh man, the Brooklyn style, man. I like that.
Ah, but you
Uh,
live in Detroit. He can't leave the
I
house
live in
now.
yeah, but I like that thing. I like that big thin crust hitter, man. I like that big thin
He can't
crust.
leave the house.
Yep, yeah,
He's got to go
yep,
into Wit Pro.
yeah, yeah. We have some good. We're blessed here, man. We have really good food, man. But that even if here, man, I prefer thin crust if I'm eating it. I love that big thin crust hitter, man.
Roll it up and all. Yeah, my wife is from Brooklyn, and when we
Oh
want to
yeah,
mess with her, we'll eat it from like the crust back instead of from the point. We'll
yeah,
eat it backwards, and she just loses her mind. It's hilarious. It never gets old. We've
yeah.
been together over 20 years. Next year is our
Man,
20th
congrats.
wedding anniversary. Oh yeah,
Congrats.
but from even after all this time, it still works.
Yeah, heck yeah.
It's so good. It's
I
like,
like
stop
it.
doing that.
I don't eat nearly enough pizza, man. I think you just inspired me, man. I got to get back.
Hey, there you go. Abdominal vacuums or weighted crunches.
I weighted crunches. Yeah,
Okay. You managed to make it through, although that pizza one, that's the
you
one I'm
cut
afraid
rough,
for your
right?
safety.
The Chicago's not my thing, man. That
Can't
big deep
stand
dish.
Chicago pizza.
Nah, man. Why know why? Because you can only eat like a couple slices and then you're like done because it's so thick. With the
Yeah.
thin hitter, I could eat a ton of it, man.
Like there's that, but the thing that really gets me about Chicago style pizza is the location of the sauce. The
Oh, it's
sauce
on
belongs,
top. It's on
yeah,
top.
sauce
Yeah.
belongs under the cheese. If you don't believe that, something wrong with you. But you feel
It's
free to
the,
drop your
no,
comments,
that's
try to
true.
argue with me. I don't care. I will fight you about it. Sauce
Yeah.
belongs under the cheese.
Yeah, but do you like pineapple, man, on the pizza?
No.
Oh man, that stuff is bomb, man. That
And
pineapple is fire, man.
oh, oh no,
Man, that
not
pineapple's
I
the
don't want
truth.
you to keep your fruit away from my pizza. No.
I
That's
don't know, man.
heresy.
That Hawaiian hitter, man, goes pretty hard.
Oh
Yeah.
man. All right, this was a lot of fun. I hope you guys who are watching this enjoyed it. And I really hope that you guys will check out Ari's channel. And so in order to make it easy for them to do that, Ari, I want you to let everybody know how they can follow you on social media, how they can see more from you, and also go ahead and give your contact information in case anyone watching this is an addict and they want to reach out to you for some
Yeah.
support or anything like that. All right, go ahead.
Sure, man. And I'm gonna link you in mine too after this. So My contact, well, the YouTube is just Garage Gym Homie. My Instagram is at Garage Gym Homie, HOMIE. And anybody, man, you're going struggling, if you're an addict or alcoholic, or you just need someone to talk to, or if you question whether you might be an addict or alcoholic and don't know, I'd be glad to help you figure it out. Hit me up, garagegymhomie@gmail.com, man. I will always give my time to anybody who's going through anything, man. I know in the deepest place of my heart that's my purpose. And so please do not hesitate to reach out. And hey, man, this was a great time, man. I'm blessed to be here, for real. Thank you for having me.